Now we have VOI. Mikael, you are the CTO. We had a speaker change. Please present the company. Very glad you're here.
Great, thank you so much.
How much money did you guys raise? Was it 80 million or no? How much?
A bit more, actually.
A bit more.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're doing great.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Hi, it's really cool to be here today. My name is Mikael Söderberg. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for VOI Technology. And we are, not unlike our colleagues here that will be on stage after us, as well as before us, we are a micromobility platform developer and operator. And we are doing really well. So if we look at what we've done since September last year until June this year, we have grown from basically a team sitting in a garage to being a well-established and actually the biggest European operator. So we've had more than 1.5 million rides, or actually 3 million rides, sorry, and we have more than 1.5 million users. So that's fantastic. We have launched in 10 markets. We're launching in a city more than once a week right now. So again, we're doing great. Much of what I'm going to talk about also is that we have a leading position in the European community when it comes to legislation and driving the playbook for launching in different markets, as well as something that is close to my heart as a CTO. We own our own technology stack, including the vehicles, end to end. So I want to talk about VOI from a position of authenticity. I come from the car industry. So before I joined VOI, I worked in the car industry for basically my whole professional life. So I've been over 20 years working in the car industry. The particular car up here, or cars up here, were one of the brands I was working for that you know well. I think what I take back from the car industry is really that it's all about execution. It's all about the people, the team, and timing, and to embrace change. And the 20 years I worked in the car industry was brutal in terms of change. We started out with one vertical, with one type of industry, and when I started at VOI, the car industry was totally different from when I got in. I started out in a startup that I started on my own, literally in my garage. And when I left the car industry, I was leading a team as their CTO of 3,600 engineers, working from everything from autonomous cars, autonomous technology, sensors, sensor fusion, all the way up to complete electrical systems. It was really a very nice journey to have made. And one of the results of this is actually the new MBUX system that Daimler launched earlier this year. And I guess some of you are already driving the new A-Class with this system in. It's a fantastic system. This took 6 years to develop from when we engaged early on with the R&D team in the US of Daimler. It was brutal. What we learned from that, what I learned from that, is really that you need to get the best team, you need to get the best technology strategists, and you need to stick with the change. You need to have the people that are willing to go that last mile, and pun intended. So when I was asked to consider joining VOI as the CTO, I was like, wow, this is going to change the car industry more from the outside than the car industry is changing itself from the inside. So I just jumped on it. It was low-hanging fruit. Really, really cool. So what we set out to do day one, and what I was driving, is to build a platform to be able to operate this micromobility service, of course. And we were really ambitious. We went all in, and we have developed everything from the applications, the mobile applications, the external APIs, the fleet management system, the whole backend running the service, the IoT software on the scooters, the hardware, the IoT hardware on the scooters. We're doing all of that, including now the physical scooters. So not only are we running a service, but we're actually a vehicle manufacturer now also. And this, to the point of Lime, for example, my colleagues there, is crucial for unit economy. You need to do this to be able to optimize unit economy. So we have a team in China, working with our manufacturing plant there, all the way to our IoT team in Sweden that is working with European telecoms operators in optimizing the performance of our IT units. But again, we are really working even with silicon vendors with optimizing the performance of the 3G modems that we're using on the scooters. So as I said before, it's all about the team. We have recruited everything from Google X people to Prodigy students to seasoned executives out of the car industry. The software team that we have in-house has gone basically from 2 people sitting in the garage in June last year to over 60 people now. Lean machine using scale agile methods to grow, and we're looking to grow over 100% in just the next 6 months. And we're actually doing quite fine in doing so. This is all based on experience that we've had before in the car industry. So we're working closely with cities, industries, industry collaboration organizations, and that we own our platform this way enables us to roll out new features, new functions in response to our customers faster than our competitors. Data, of course, super important. This is Helsinki when we launched. So this is the first launch week. We're basically mapping the city using our vehicles. In Stockholm, we've had 2 million rides. It's 1.5 million rides. And we're basically helping the cities to optimize their traffic flows. So we're working very closely with cities like Stockholm in doing this. This is also helping us map the way that we should place the vehicles, how we can help B2B customers of ours to drive traffic to specific grocery stores, for example, or outlet stores. And also in the Nordics, we are even bigger. We are clearly the market leader with some margin there. So we've started what we call the Nordic Micromobility Association, which is there to help with legislation, standardization, launch plans, launch playbooks for cities. And for example, with Stockholm, we have basically defined the Swedish playbook for how to launch a service like ours in cities. And to that, we want to say something that's really exciting also. We won the tender a couple of weeks ago for the Stockholm e-bike system, which is actually the largest system in Europe for e-bikes. So there's going to be 7,500 beautiful e-bikes of ours and 500 cargo bikes to start with. And again, it's really exciting to be part of that largest system that is to date being deployed in Europe. And this is not going to be the last announcement that we make in the next couple of weeks. We are going to win a couple of other cities also, so we're looking forward to be able to share that. Now, we can't do all of this on our own. We don't want to do all of this on our own, even if we do own our own technology, the fleet, the vehicles, all the way to our cloud. We're working closely and co-creating products and services with technology partners and operators. Everything from one of the larger telecoms operators in the Nordics, Tele2, where we're optimizing our way of interacting with the cellular network to lower cost, as well as lower the load on the network. We're working with LG on battery cells for the actual vehicles themselves, where we will have replaceable batteries, which means that we don't have to gather, we don't have to collect the scooters, which will change the unit economy drastically. So we can basically just change the batteries on the street throughout the city, and we can also charge them more efficiently. We're working with companies like Mapbox in merging part of our solution into their location-based service, which gives our consumers an unprecedented user experience. Others like Nordic Semiconductor, we're using their hardware for the IoT units. We're essentially co-creating a development platform for them. So with us, these guys are also helping driving the change that we're setting out. So watch this space. We are driving a lot of change in the micromobility space. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mikael. Appreciate it.